Well, welcome everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the upcoming solar new moon eclipse that'll be occurring on March 29th, 2025. We're going to take a look at each life path number to see how this energy may influence you. And you may feel like you're just recovering from the last eclipse that we had on March 14th, which was the full moon lunar eclipse. And since then, we've sort of been in this like weird energy, weird portal type of energy between eclipses. But we're about to be in for the second round. So the solar eclipse, similar to the lunar eclipse, it is the start of a storyline. So we will likely start to see things unfold over the next 6 months to a year around this energy. This is a new moon. This is a solar eclipse. Solar energy has to do with vitality and, reaching your goals and taking actions and initiating something. Same thing with the new moon. So there may be some things that need to close out for us at this time that are no longer working, that are no longer contributing towards that progression forward. And so they will likely close out around this eclipse. They will be eclipsed out. However, there will be new things that will come in, new initiations, new starts, new beginnings. And this is the prime time to take action in those areas, to initiate, to take action, to assert yourself, to go after what it is that you're looking to go after. Now, I will say that this solar eclipse, and we'll talk more about this as it gets closer, I'll share some videos, but this is going to be a 5 energy that the solar eclipse is bringing in universally. So there will be a tremendous amount of change here, and we'll likely see that on the global scale. Again, not necessarily right away, not necessarily initially, but we'll have a pretty good indication of that change that's about to unfold over the coming months. All right, enough about that. Let's go ahead and take a look at each life path number to see what's in store for you. Life path 22-4. So we're going to be working with a pretty interesting energy of the 45-9 for this eclipse. And what I would say is this is a period over the next, say, 6 months or so where we need to manage our expectations. So when it comes to projects, career, relationships, meet whatever it is where it's at. Meaning, bring yourself back to the present moment. What's actually happening? You can focus on the goal, of course, but bring it back to the present because that's where everything you need is. And that's where you're going to obviously know what you're working with. Manage your expectations. And you can have hope without attachment. Right? So you have hope that, your expectations will be met, but you're not attached to it. So if it turns out differently, you're not derailed. You're still good to go. I think that's going to be really important during this period to go with the flow, to be present, and to manage your expectations. Even your expectations that you have of yourself is really important. And I would say start there. Manage those expectations. And then manage your expectations of, what you put on others. Because most people aren't going to be able to meet you there. They're going to be able to meet you with the tools and the resources that they have available to them right now, right? From their own personal journey. So if we're meeting people with a bag full of expectations, we're going to be disappointed. And, the old adage is true. The old saying is true. The higher the expectation, the greater the fall. And I would say that it's possible that 22-4s are pretty used to this. We set our sights on something, we get excited about it, we invest our time, we just push through, we get there, and then somehow it doesn't always meet our expectation. And we can get really frustrated with that. We can really get down on ourselves about that. We can get down on the other people about that. And it doesn't serve anything. So beautiful period for learning those lessons of why it's so important to manage our expectations. This can be a period where we see a lot of gains come in. Financial gains are possible. Inheritances are also possible during this cycle. But it's also possible that those gains, whether it's financial or some kind of contract or, again, inheritance, might not live up to your expectation. And so instead of sort of like focusing on how it didn't meet that expectation and focusing on what you've lost in that process or what you perceive to lose in that situation, this energy is asking you to shift your focus and focus on the gain, because it's that gain that's going to help you to initiate something new. It's that gain, even though it might not meet your expectation and though it might feel kind of small compared to what you wanted, it's a starting point. And it is regardless of whether it meets your expectation or not, it is a gift. And so don't spend your energy sort of regretting what has not become or what is not. Focus on what is working. Focus on the gift, whatever that gift may be, and then learn from that and proceed forward, right? Instead of focusing on, well, this didn't turn out the way I wanted, or they're not meeting me, or they're not doing what I want them to do, or whatever it might be. Focus on what is working, because that's going to alleviate the frustration for what didn't work or what you lost or what didn't meet your expectation. It's just such a better way to use your energy, truly. And this cycle is helping us to remember that and to know that building on what is working, building on that gift, whatever that gift may be, is what will bring the greater reward potentially the next time around, right? So don't get stuck in, again, what's not working. Don't expect too much from people at this time. Again, meet people where they're at. Learn from the past. Don't get stuck there. Don't dwell on that energy. Let go of it. Start that process of letting go. Because you'll learn, or you'll not only learn from those past experiences, but you'll form new alliances that will open the doors to the future, that will help us to move forward. And, we'll become, through that process, we start to become aware of our own resources, of our strengths, of our gifts, etc. And we start to open doors that wouldn't have been opened if we're continuously focused on, again, what did not work. So really powerful energy here. Really, I think it's a lesson that 22/4s have been through many times, but it's an opportunity to continuously flex that muscle of shifting our focus onto what is working as opposed to what is not working. Like if it's not working, great. Take the wisdom from that experience and move forward. If it is working, awesome. Build on it, because that's where the success is going to be at. Anyway, hope it's a great one. Take care. Bye for now.